Hi, I'm Ian Cluft. I live in the Berryessa district of San Jose. After the Berryessa BART station opened, people have been asking how to bicycle to Alum Rock Park. I've been biking there for years, so I'll be your guide and show you the route. This ride is 6.5 miles each way for a 13-mile round trip. There's about 600 feet of elevation gain. We'll take the Penitencia Creek Trail, which is part of the Bay Area Ridge Trail system. Berryessa is the first and so far only place the Ridge Trail system connects to a BART station. You'll need either a mountain bike or a road mountain hybrid. Road bikes with narrow tires aren't suited to the unpaved sections of the trail. Bring plenty of water, and some small snacks are a good idea too. I did the ride in this video on the 4th of July 2020, so I'll use an Independence Day theme for the background music. You may bring your bicycle with you on BART trains. See the current bicycle rules on the BART.gov website, but here's a quick summary. Bikes aren't allowed on escalators, so either carry them on the stairs or use the elevator. Also, bikes aren't allowed on the first car or any crowded car of BART train. During commute hours, don't use the first 3 cars of the train. When you arrive at Berryessa BART, you'll need to get to the Penitencia Creek Trail on the north side of the site. Exiting from the fare gates at the front of the station, turn left. From the map, the most direct way to the trail appears to be across Berryessa Station Way from the front of the station. There's a Class 1 separated bike path on the other side of the street, but my experience with this traffic light is it's bicycle unfriendly. Since it's a bus exit, the road sensor doesn't detect bikes. If you push the pedestrian crossing button, it takes way too long. My preference is to go to the other side of the bus station before crossing the street. If there are people in the way at the bus station sidewalk, there's another bike path under the BART guideway behind the bike station building. Then follow the turn to the right before the police building. Cross Berryessa Station Way with the pedestrian button. This one's more responsive. Then it's straight ahead to the Penitencia Creek Trail, and you're on your way to Alum Rock Park. Leaving the BART station, you'll soon get to the traffic signal at King Road. Use the pedestrian button to cross and continue back onto the trail. There's a short unpaved section here which will eventually get paved. When the trail gets to Maybury Road, it's a divided road, so we can't cross here. Take the left sidewalk northbound for 1/3 of a mile to Penitencia Creek Park. We don't want to use the bike lane on the left or wrong side because we'd conflict with other bicycles. If any pedestrians are on the sidewalk with you, go at pedestrian speed while near them. There are plans to add a Class 1 bike trail parallel to the street here eventually. At Penitencia Creek Park, turn left to follow the trail into the park. This is actually a chain of parks along the creek, so we'll see more of it for the next 2 miles. There are often people walking on the trail in these parks. To avoid startling them, ring your bell before passing anyone who hasn't obviously seen you coming. At Jackson Avenue, use the crosswalk to cross. If there aren't any breaks in traffic, the pedestrian button starts flashing lights to get drivers' attention. Take the trail under Interstate 680 to Capitol Avenue. If you come through here after a winter storm, the creek may flood the undercrossing at 680. You can use Maybury Road as an alternative, but in those cases, take it as a sign you may have problems with flooding again further upstream. Cross Capitol Avenue at the crosswalk, or use the left turn lane for a U-turn. This intersection is at VTA's Penitencia Creek Light Rail Station. It isn't a busy station, but the road is busy and trains come through on a regular schedule. It is safe to cross the road when you have a green pedestrian signal. Don't try to race across ahead of traffic or trains. Turn left on Capitol into the bike lane. Cross the bridge over the creek. At the next traffic light, turn right onto the trail again. The trail here is another part of Penitencia Creek Park. This part goes 1/2 mile and ends at Viceroy Way. Turn left towards Penitencia Creek Road. Here you have an option. I turned right onto the bike lane on Penitencia Creek Road, the fastest route to Alum Rock Park. But if you're just exploring, you can continue straight ahead across Penitencia Creek Road. Watch for traffic, it's a busy street. You can explore Penitencia Creek Park and the Berryessa Community Center there, then exit the park at Piedmont Road and rejoin Penitencia Creek Road's bike lane from there. I found the traffic signal doesn't detect bicycles in either direction on Penitencia Creek Road where Piedmont turns into white. Use the pedestrian button here. There's a paved trail on the right side for a couple blocks from Bard to Toyon. After the stop sign at Toyon, look for the bike trail to start again on the left side at the Noble Avenue Bridge. The road narrows and loses its bike lane for that block, so you may prefer the separated trail. But after a block, it's back to the road. This is the entrance to Alum Rock Park. There's a 1,000-foot segment with no bike lane and no separate trail. Just keep to the right. Now we're at the park. There are restrooms here if you need them, and a few more further up the park. Take the bike and pedestrian trail to the right. From this point within Alum Rock Park, the Penitencia Creek Trail is also designated as a National Recreation Trail. Just past the restrooms, the trail climbs steeply. Unless you're a strong rider on a mountain bike with good gearing, expect to walk your bike up a bit here. Some parts of the Penitencia Creek Trail in the park are on the old roadbed for an electric trolley system that ran in the park in the early 1900s. Just after a bridge over the creek, we get to the Eagle Rock picnic area. The trail crosses the road here. As usual, look both ways and be careful. After crossing the road, there's another short, steep section where most riders will have to walk their bikes. No big deal. Then the trail is back on the old railway roadbed. There's an old rail bridge over the creek and road here, and a nice wooded trail for half a mile to the park center. In the park center, there's a nice green lawn. If you want, stop for a break and look around, but this is not the end of the trail. In this area, you'll pass the Park Visitor Center and the Youth Science Institute. Then coming up on both sides of the creek are Alum Rock Park's hot springs. These were more built up in the early 1900s when hot springs were believed to have healing powers. But now that we know more, there's also interesting geology to it. The hot springs are here because the groundwater is heated up in the Calaveras Fault. You'll know when you're there because of the sulfur smell. You can really smell it if you look in one of the spring shelters at the side of the trail where water sometimes flows out. Some days it's more obvious than others. If you come on a cool day, you can see steam from them. But it was a hot day when I got this video. Now take a well-earned break. You've made it to the end of the bike trail. This is as far as you can go. Have some water and a snack that you brought with you, and have a look around to celebrate your achievement. It's some beautiful scenery worth a little time to explore. When you head back downhill, maintain a safe speed. At the parking lot, I usually take the road back down. It avoids conflicting with the uphill bicycles on the trail. And downhill you can go faster. Actually, the posted speed is 15 miles per hour. It's easy to exceed that on a bike. If you have a speedometer or GPS, watch your speed. If you don't have one, go slower than you would by coasting. You can add some wind resistance by sitting as tall as you can on your bike. You'll still need to use some brakes as well. Keep right to let cars pass when there's room. When there isn't room, bicycles can take the lane. Taking the lane sends the signal to drivers that there isn't room for both of you. Use it sparingly. Return to the right when there's room to pass. When you reach the park exit, slow down and go around the speed bump. Keep it slow in the parking area, then through the roundabout and down Penitencia Creek Road back into town. I usually stay on Penitencia Creek Road on the downhill run instead of on the trail because it's faster. But this is your last chance to explore if you didn't on the way up. Take a left at the light on Capitol Avenue. Watch out for the light rail tracks in the median of Capitol. Go immediately onto the sidewalk on any of the ramps before the creek bridge. Just after the bridge, we're turning right on the Penitencia Creek Trail. Here's the stretch under Interstate 680, then across Jackson Avenue and left onto the sidewalk because we're turning right again into the park. At Maybury Road, there's no ramp from the sidewalk, so stop if you need to. Watch for traffic before getting in the bike lane. 1/3 mile on Maybury Road and turn right on the trail. It's another 1/3 mile to King Road. Use the pedestrian button and the green signal to cross. The trail continues on the right, and you're back where you started at the Berryessa BART station. I hope you enjoyed watching. It should help to have seen it when you get your chance to ride it. A lot of people have been asking on social media how to get to Alum Rock from Berryessa BART. Let me know how your ride went in the comments for this video, or tell me on Twitter. My handle is my ham radio call sign K06YQ. Show your pictures of the ride. And as usual, if you liked it, please click like, subscribe, and tell your friends. It helps to bring more attention for others with similar interests.